Step away from the travel vlogs and the lifestyle vloggers who are not living the type of life that you want to be living, because that is where you are going to be led astray. Hi guys, welcome to today's episode of Work Abroad Wednesdays, where I'm going to be breaking down where you can find the real information about moving to another country and working abroad. There is so much misinformation about what it's like living and moving your life to a completely different country that I think it's so important that you have the correct details, especially right now during the middle of a global pandemic. And whatever time you're watching this video, I am sure that there will be an abundance of videos showing you what it's like to live a tropical lifestyle and work on your laptop and things like that. But the reality is that that might not apply to you. So the purpose of this video is to give you the best sources and also change the way that you think so that you are getting the most relevant information that will actually help you make your move abroad a success. And I'm not just telling you this as someone who's not been there. If you're new to this channel, you may not know that I have lived and worked abroad for nearly 10 years now. And that includes places like London, Dubai, Colombia, Paris, all over the place. So this is the advice from someone who has been a professional and not an illegal nomad. No shade, travel vloggers. I used to be one of you as well, but we have to be honest here. I know that by watching this video, you are going to get the insights that you need. And importantly, I'm not just going to tell you, I'm going to run through a country research summary, a personalized version of a report that we did for one of my clients in the Career Game Changer program who was looking to move to Ireland. And you can see that through that analysis, we selected specific places to get official information about the reality of how things work and how they can be applied to her. So we're going to run through that towards the end of this video. So please make sure you stick around for that, because that is the most valuable piece. But before you dive right into that, it's important for you to really be clear on what you are trying to understand. And the reason why I ask this question is that nearly every day someone approaches me on Instagram or anywhere they find me, and they ask me for advice on what it's like to live in a specific country. And a lot of the time their questions are very general, which if you ask general questions, you are going to get general answers. And actually, if your question can be found on Google, the person that you're approaching is probably not going to waste their time to answer you, because you need to show some initiative. The thing is, if you ask specific questions that are specific to you based on your specific circumstances, that is where you are going to get the gold. Let me explain. I'm clearly a Black woman, and when I'm moving to certain countries where it's not just a holiday, it's important for me to understand what the Black experience is like. And of course, everyone's experience is different, but these things will help to inform my decision. I wouldn't willingly move to a country where I know that people are actively racist, or the majority of people are racist, even though one person might tell me, oh, it's great here, people are very welcoming, there's people from all over the world. But if you don't really kind of have my kind of background and experience, then I will take what you say with a pinch of salt. So then why is that a lot of us go on Google and we find a travel vlog, and then we just get lost in there daydreaming, and then you realize when you actually move to the country that you hate it? And it's a lot harder for you to move back home if you're in a pandemic and you're watching this video and that point hit a nerve. I feel you. It's so important for you to ask questions based on your specifics. If you are a professional, then asking a digital nomad for advice is probably not going to work out the way that you expect it to, because they are living abroad under different circumstances to you. It makes more sense for you to ask someone who is in the similar working environment or working mode as you. I'm not saying that there's no value to be gotten from asking digital nomads or reviewing travel vlogs. In fact, those are some of my favorite things to do, even though right now we're stuck at home. But that should really inform the level of your thinking before you reach out to people and start asking questions. So before you move your life to live in another country or find a job there or actually get a transfer with your company, it's important for you to know what real life is like there, and two, how do things work? And the best sources for this information is from real people that live where you want to move to. And there's two categories of those people that you should be really trying to get to know and get this deep insight from. The first are expats like you who have perhaps moved to that country from a different place and are now living there and thriving, because they can give you the experiences of what it's like to be a foreigner in that space. The second category of people that you need to speak to are, of course, the locals, because it's their home, right? The point here is for you to get real life experiences and not rose-tinted stories from travel vloggers or Instagrammers, people who are into cinematics and showing you the beauty of a place as opposed to the reality. And I say this, really, I want to emphasize that no shade at all. I used to be a travel vlogger as well, and you can probably find some more travel videos on my other channel. But the reason why I'm really hammering home this point is that a lot of us, right, spend a lot of time on our phones, and then we get carried away fantasizing about what life is like. But then you have to ask yourself the question, what am I going to be doing when I move to this place? Am I going to continue my current job? So if you're working a 9 to 5, is that something that you can feasibly do in this country that you're moving to? Because when you type work abroad in somewhere like Instagram, right, there'll be lots of videos of people in Bali and Thailand living a fantastic lifestyle, and they'll tell you you can live in this place for only around $1,000 a month, and you're like, fantastic, I can save, I can get onto fire, and I can retire early. Great. The reality is, if your 9 to 5 is as a lawyer, please explain to me what type of lawyering you're going to be doing in Bali or Thailand. Are you registered to work in Thailand? Would the Thai authorities actually allow you to practice law? Will you be able to work remotely for a company in your home jurisdiction from Bali and Thailand? These are the important questions that you need to know that you will very rarely get the answers to by looking at a travel vlog or a travel blog. So this is why, again, be so intentional when you are asking your questions. My favorite places to connect with locals and expats alike is undoubtedly Facebook groups. And the reason why is because all of these people are congregating to talk about their experiences. So of course you're going to find the immigration specific Facebook groups, and then also you can find the general local groups. If you know, for example, that you want to work in Jakarta, so you can find some Facebook groups from people who live and work in Jakarta. You'll find out what the local circumstances are like at that particular point in time. It's a pandemic right now. Are people allowed to leave? That's the kind of valuable information that you get from the local groups. And then you can connect with people there. You can start building your network. You can start seeing what things are like. And the expat groups are also great because they are tailored. They can tell you how they got their own visa. They can tell you how they're finding their transition. If you're in these groups and you see that people are talking about going back home, then that's a warning for you to maybe reconsider where you want to move to. So expat groups, places like Reddit also are fantastic. But I'm a bit touch and go with Reddit sometimes, because a lot of people post on there about wanting to move as opposed to talking about their experiences living abroad. And of course, yes, I know that there's the expat forums and things like that. But in summary, when you're on Reddit, make sure that you are in the right subreddit. Also, I love local podcasts, right? So there's some really interesting podcasts from places like Dubai, where I've lived before, and I will be moving back to as soon as this pandemic is over. So again, those are fantastic for, really helping you get an insight to what life is truly like in those places. The second place for you to get real information, and the most important category of information, is from official sources. Because again, some people will tell you, hey, you can move here and all you have to do is visa runs. I've done visa runs before, but sometimes they are illegal, because if you are working in a specific country, and you guys have probably seen this, there was an incident on Twitter a couple of months ago where some expats from the US got in trouble because they've been living there for a long time, posting on social media about it, running their businesses, generating revenue, and allegedly, I don't know, they hadn't been paying their taxes. So there was a big hurrah and they got deported, and I think that was the end of that. But it's a big warning sign to many people, because just because you can work your corporate job or your business or whatever it is in a different country doesn't mean that it's right for you to do that, because when stuff hits the fan, you can get in a lot of trouble. So again, if you are investigating from the official platforms, you might actually realize that, hey, they actually allow us to work on a digital nomad visa that allows me to do my corporate job from this space. This is the kind of thinking that you want to do. And also, when you're exploring the official channels, it actually also gives you triggers about important things that you need to check, like what's the healthcare status like in that country? If you are someone that's dependent on certain medicines, for example, having a look on the official platforms will help you see, okay, Will I have access to healthcare? Will I be able to get the medicine that I need when I move to this country? This is the type of information that casually browsing on Google is not necessarily going to bring out to you straight away. So to circle back, you need to make sure that you're speaking to the locals and expats alike on the ground, and also verifying your information, and also identifying new channels that you need to explore using official channels. Now it's time for me to do the breakdown of the research summary that we did for one of my clients on the Career Game Changer program. This is just a very short summary. It doesn't go into the full level of detail that we do, but you're going to have an insight to what tailored research actually looks like, and you can mirror that strategy for whatever exploration that you're doing for your international move. So let's get right into it. So what you're looking at right now is a jet set track summary for one of the clients on my Career Game Changer program. And I've talked about this before. Basically, this person is someone who wants to transition abroad. We have 3 different categories of people that join my program. The first are the switchers, so people who are trying to switch into a new industry or land a new job. Next are the jet setters, which are people who want to transition their careers abroad. And the third category are the accelerators, people who want to really elevate their careers by getting promotions or moving up into like managerial or executive positions. So right now you're looking at a country research summary for someone who wants to move from Canada to Ireland. This is a very, very, very basic research summary. I'm just extracting some of it. I can't stress that enough. But you can see here that we start off by looking at the official channels. So the first thing that you're seeing here is that you talk about the official language, we talk about the official website, the official immigration website, and then there's a lot of other really instrumental things that many people just forget to explore. So things like the cost of living ranking, right? Or how much your personal income taxes are. Because if you're moving to a new country and you don't know how much the personal taxes are, let's flip it, for example, someone moving from Dubai to the UK. In Dubai, you have 0% income tax, right? But you move to the UK where your income tax levels can be nearly as high as like 40%. So the whole point is even more. So the whole point is that when you are looking to move abroad, you need to be very specific about what you're going for. If it's income that you're chasing, that's fine. If it's lifestyle that you're chasing, that's fine, but you need to know. And the only way you don't know this is if you don't look at the right channels, because here you can see that the cost of living in Ireland is 13% more expensive than in Toronto. And she was fine with this because she was not moving necessarily for the money, but for the experience and the whole lifestyle change and things like that. So we also talk about things like healthcare. And I'm not going to click into this tab right now because I know that it's probably going to take us away and I don't think I'm recording the screen. But this is the idea. You're seeing that a lot of the sources on this page are all official. Then we scroll down where we're talking about the fact that this particular candidate has explored, or we've done this for her actually, the types of visas that she'll be eligible for. Because you can imagine that sometimes when you're moving to a new country, depending on the regulatory landscape, what's happening in the world, sometimes there are visas available for professional expats like this person. Sometimes the window is closed, they only accept a certain number of people. But the good thing about this particular candidate is that she is under the age of 35. And by looking at official channels and really speaking to people on the ground, we could see that, okay, she is eligible for a working holiday visa that allows her to be in Ireland under a reciprocal agreement between Canada and Ireland, and she can work there for up to 2 years. So this strategy is very, very useful for young professionals who are finding it difficult to get visas from their current country of residency because of various reasons. Maybe they're just not getting a company that can sponsor their visa. It's always easier for you to get a job when you are on the ground. So if you have your savings right, this is so important. If you have enough savings and you think, okay, I am just going to go to Ireland and see if I can get a job, network on the ground and show these companies that they don't have to worry about getting me a visa, then that will increase my chances of securing a job. And it's much easier for her to do this because she can get a working holiday visa. What she could do in this position is take up a bridge role, and a bridge position is something that we go into in my program, but essentially it's your stepping stone position that gets you to where you want to be. Your point is, I'm in Ireland right now and I need to earn an income. We don't go for basic jobs, we don't do that. We are game changers. We're going for professional jobs that she can use as a bridge until she's able to get the jobs with the exact types of companies that she wants to work for. She's quite young, and it's going to be important for her to get a lot of transferable experience first before she makes this move. And actually, that's what she ended up doing. But this is just an example of what a country research summary, a focused one, using official channels. And I'm going to scroll down as well so you can see that we talked about employment opportunities, the types of multinational companies in the region that are known to recruit internationally. And this is very important. Not all multinational companies are looking to hire people that live abroad. So if you are looking for a job and you're not intentional about where you're getting your information sources from, people will casually tell you, hey, you can get a job at this person or that. But if they are not hiring, if they have a hiring freeze, then that's it. What are you going to do? Those opportunities are not available. So you have to be very focused about the places that you're getting your information. So from what we've seen here and the insights that we looked into for her, we could see that these companies that we've stated here are hiring. We've talked about the salary bands, which again, you probably won't get from a travel blogger just talking about life in Ireland, right? These are the kind of really qualitative information that you need in order to make an informed decision. We've also talked about the main recruitment platforms for Ireland, notable recruiters that are open to helping people get jobs internationally. Again, we summarize all of this kind of stuff. And then we talk about the professional and social networking platforms that you can use. So earlier on in the video, I talked about the fact that you should be connecting with expats and locals, and you can find a lot of these people on Facebook. Here, we've done a deep dive into some of the Facebook groups that are available for expats. So you can see this focused ones for Canadians living in Ireland, Ireland expats. We've talked about expat groups on LinkedIn as well, and forums. I talked about how when you go on Reddit, you need to make sure that you're going to the right subforum. And we also do some other things like recognition of professional qualifications. You're not, again, going to get this information unless you really are targeted about the research that you're doing. This is something that we help our clients to do. Moving abroad is such an exciting time, but it's really, really important for you to get it right. So I hope that you've gotten the information about where your starting point should be. And if you want to find out more about how you can go deeper, intentionally focused and in a way that you achieve what your actual objectives are, then have a look at the description box below and see if you can apply to join us on the advanced training that I'm going to be doing about how to master your career transition. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you thought about this video. Again, I wasn't being mean to travel bloggers. I was just talking. I love travel content. I really do. But if you're not living their lifestyle, if your goals are not necessarily aligned to the person that you're watching, look at their content, enjoy it, be inspired by it, and make sure that you're also intentional about the research that you do. And don't be researching using digital nomad blogs if you are a banking professional. It doesn't make any sense. All right, thank you guys for watching. Toodles.